Western script, Eastern reality. This is the algorithm. Rewrite the rules. Winter nights in Moscow are never merciful. For Putin, the chill brought by this blizzard is nothing compared to the scorching weight of the intelligence on his desk. History is collapsing before his eyes. Venezuela's Maduro was utterly finished in a coup 3 months ago, with Caracas's oil terminals now seized by Western syndicates. In Tehran, the lights are flickering out. Plagued by long-term encirclement and internal unrest, Iran is on the brink of disintegration. Putin looks around. His once anti-Western alliance is now little more than a graveyard of smoking ruins.
Valery, the world is shrinking. We used to have allies. Now we only have debt collectors and gamblers. When Maduro fled, he couldn't even take his gold from the Caribbean. Even Khamenei doesn't trust his own Revolutionary Guard anymore. This officer, it's fast becoming the last lonely island on this planet.
Comrade President, this is why the Vladivostok summit was our only lifeline. Xi Jinping brought the checkbook. Kim Jong-un brought the armory. On the surface, at least, we remain part of the three-nation alliance.
Alliance. Valery, you know as well as I do. When Xi embraced me in Vladivostok, I could feel him measuring me for a coffin. He gives me checks so he can brand the Russian permafrost with the yuan. It's not our friendship he covets, it's Sabetta Port. He wants the throat of his ice silk road.
Putin's fury does not stem from the enemy's advance, but from his allies' slow consumption. He realizes that if Beijing's engineering teams take root in the Arctic, Russia will, in less than a decade, be downgraded from an empire to a massive gas station, a mere resource feeder for the South.
He thinks I am old. He thinks I've been bled dry by the Ukrainian quagmire, forced to sell the gates of my ancestors for a loaf of bread. He wants Sabetta? Fine, but the port I give him will be on my terms. If I cannot keep this chair, there is no reason to leave the table for anyone else to feast on.
Which is why we initiated protocol sanitization. Publicly, we grant the Chinese engineering teams the highest political honors, even ordering the FSB to clear the way for their tunnel boring machines. But inside those freshly poured deep-water pier foundations, we have added something that was not in the engineering blueprints.
This is Putin's nature. If he cannot possess everything, he would rather destroy it all. This is not sci-fi fantasy. It is the purest, most brutal form of scorched earth policy.
Under the guise of reinforcing foundations against permafrost instability, we have pre-planted specialized explosives within the core load-bearing structures of Sabetta Port. These charges are encased in lead-lined, pressure-resistant sleeves to withstand Arctic temperatures and seawater corrosion. More importantly, their detonation links are entirely analog. They are not connected to any network or satellite. It is a physical fuse held only by us.
A physical kill switch. Good. I want Xi to know that data can be hacked and debt can be calculated, but the collapse of a physical structure is irreversible. When he thinks he has total control over Russia's veins, I'll let him discover those veins are filled with nitroglycerin.
Putin's gambit does not end there. While he buries explosives in the underground shafts, he reaches out through the fog to the west. It is a precision balancing act.
Bypass the foreign ministry. Have the letters to Berlin and Paris been sent?
Sent via private encrypted channels. We have hinted to Germany and France that Russia has no desire to see the Arctic completely reddened. We offered them a deal they cannot refuse. If they can open a crack in the technical sanctions, we can bypass Beijing's settlement system and restart the gas pipelines at 30% below market price.
The Europeans fear Chinese expansion far more than they fear my tanks. I want them to struggle between greed and fear. This isn't for peace, Valery. This is to muddy the waters. Only when the water is murky can a trapped beast find its exit.
Putin is a master performer trained by the KGB. He knows that the most effective lies must be wrapped in the warmest smiles. He is personally inspecting the very cooperative project he intends to destroy with his own hands. Every greeting is a concealed blade.
Thank you for your hard work. In this extreme cold, only our Chinese brothers could achieve such a miracle. This port is not just steel and concrete. It is the iron foundation of the friendship between Russia and China. Please convey to President Xi that on the day Sabetta is completed, I intend to decorate him personally.
They are satisfied, Comrade President. The additional 1,000 Russian technicians have all been deployed. They are assisting the Chinese in pouring the final foundations, while sealing several tons of specialized anti-frost agents deep into every load-bearing pillar.
This technical assistance is, in fact, the final stage of wiring. Putin is waiting for Beijing to pour in more capital. The more expensive this port becomes, the more leverage he holds with the detonator in his hand.
The wording must be precise, not like a diplomatic memo. It must read like a cry for help from a dying man, but with a scalpel tucked inside the envelope. Tell Berlin and Paris I have no desire to become a vassal of China.
The draft is ready. It emphasizes that Russia has detected Beijing's militarization of the Northern Sea route, and that Sabetta's deep-sea surveillance will soon threaten all of Northern Europe. We are offering ultra-low-cost energy as bait in exchange for European support on critical components, allowing us to repair the legacy Western pipelines and bypass Chinese oversight.
Putin is playing with fire. He is signaling to Europe his readiness to betray the promises made at the Vladivostok summit. He is preying on Europe's fear of a rising China to tear a rift in the Iron Curtain of sanctions.
Comrade President, last night a Chinese technician discovered pressure anomalies in the anti-frost loop at Pier 3. He attempted to report it, suspecting the coolant had been replaced with a high-density liquid.
Was it handled?
It was. He has become part of the Arctic wind. By morning, the official report will state he died of cardiac arrest brought on by hypothermia. Order at the site is stable. The Chinese command suspects nothing.
Good. Remember, Valery, there can be no noise on this island. Venezuela fell because of loose talk. Iran fell because of internal leaks. Here, protocol sanitization is not just for the port. It is for any pair of eyes that dares to glimpse the truth.
Putin looks out the window again. He has just finished shaking hands with Xi and Kim, yet he is already prepared to sell one out to Europe and bury the other in the deep sea. This isn't betrayal. For him, it is the only survival formula left in a shrinking world. The darkness before dawn is the deepest. Putin pushes open the window. A rush of frigid air instantly floods the room, flushing out the stale scent of tobacco. He stares at the pitch-black Moscow River, where the imperial dreams he once tried to reshape now lie frozen. The fall of Venezuela, the tremors in Iran, and that Vladivostok summit, saturated with hollow etiquette, have all been filtered by this icy wind into the purest form of survival.
Valery, is there word from Berlin? How long can those noble Europeans hold out after seeing the offer I've placed on the table?
They have taken the bait. The first shipment of Siemens control chips, intended to bypass the Chinese monitoring systems, has already departed via a front company in Turkey. Berlin needs our gas as much as we need their tech. They fear your madness, but they dread an Arctic ruled entirely by Beijing even more.
This is Putin's stratagem. He has turned himself into a spike driven deep into the intersection of Chinese, European, and American interests. He knows he is bleeding out, but before he falls, he intends to drag the entire global supply chain down with him.
This is our insurance. The Sabetta Port that the Chinese engineers are so proud of, it's now linked to these analog signal lines.
It is. The moment you turn that brass knob, Sabetta's foundation will undergo instantaneous liquefaction. Every LNG storage tank, every automated pier, pulverized and sunk into the seabed within 3 seconds. Beijing's 300 billion yuan investment will evaporate, and the Northern Sea route will be paralyzed by wreckage for at least 20 years.
Xi thinks he can lock me down with debt. He is wrong. He studies algorithms and expansion. I study destruction. When he thinks he finally has the keys to the Arctic, I will show him that I have already dismantled the room behind the door.
There is no sorrow in Putin's eyes, only a form of hyper-rational insanity. He has just shipped off Kim Jong-un's munitions and accepted Xi Jinping's investments. Yet his closest partner at this moment is this switch, capable of triggering a global economic meltdown at any second.
What I cannot have, no one shall possess. This is the final dignity of Russia.
Amidst the swirling snow of Moscow, the wounded polar bear retreats into his cave. Clutching the fuse, he waits for the world to give its final answer. It is a gamble with no winners, but he relishes the control of being able to end it all. Putin's scorched earth strategy is set. The explosives beneath Sabetta Port are in a silent countdown. In this gambit, will European greed become Putin's lifeline? And in Beijing, has the shadow hunter, watching the screens in Zhongnanhai with ice-cold precision, already sensed this fatal vibration? In the next episode, we move to Beijing. Witness how Xi Jinping utilizes big data and debt traps to conduct a silent, algorithmic extortion against the wounded bear. If you enjoy this kind of hardcore geopolitical drama and want to see the conspiracies behind world leaders, make sure to like this video to help more people discover this game of power. Subscribe to our channel so you don't miss episode 2, the Xi Jinping chapter. Share this with your friends and discuss, if it were you, would you turn that knob? Thank you for watching. We'll see you in the next episode, The Shadow Hunter.